Hey, how's it going, everyone? There's a few people. Obviously, we're going to wait for a little bit to get everyone in. I think I'm live now. To those of you guys who are watching the replay, just bear with me. Today, we're just going to be doing another Q&A because, to be honest, I couldn't think of a topic to talk about. Sometimes it gets a bit boring when we go topical, and sometimes it's nice to just be here and let the stream go where the stream goes. Now, at the moment, I'm meant to be editing the rest of the betta breeding series, so I haven't done that yet. And I'm kind of using this stream as a procrastination because, yeah, I'm meant to be doing that, but I couldn't be bothered sitting on Final Cut Pro. So, hello everyone that's in. Hey Braden, HC Aqua, Bok Chow, Henry Lee, Fishing Addicts, Giancarlo Arevelo. That's a cool name. And yeah, so whoever comes in. It's just going to be a chill Sunday Arvo stream, so feel free to ask any questions. Your blueberry kois are marble fancy kois. Yeah, they are, but I like to call them blueberry kois. It sounds way cooler. And I'm also a noob with bettas. So whoever joins, joins. And yeah, feel free to ask any questions. I had a pretty stressful week, actually. And next week, I'm going to be away. So we're not going to be the content's going to get bumped up this year, but not until after I come back. So I'm going to Tasmania, which is kind of a bit freaky. I don't know what's going to happen in regards to like COVID. I don't want to get too deep on COVID, but we'll see what happens because I don't want to get trapped in quarantine anywhere because otherwise I'll be stuck and then I won't be able to take care of the fish room. So that's a little bit stressful, but this week the power went out. So, oh my gosh. I've been saying it to everyone. I feel like I lost hair when that happened. So I'll talk about that a bit later. We've already got a couple of questions, so I'm just going to quickly answer those. But yeah, let's just start talking. So did you get your betta tubs from Kmart? So yes, if you guys are in Australia, there's Kmart. It's pretty much like if you go to Target in the US. We've got Target here too, but it's not as prolific as Kmart. So yeah, you can just get those tubs from Kmart. You can pretty much use any kind of tub. I use like 4 liters. So we're talking about tubs to breed bettas in. I just made a video and I'm going to ask you guys a question because everyone that comes to these streams I consider to be like my closest audience members. These are the people that really like what I do, and I hope you guys do. But you guys are like the ones that we're real tight with, and I want to ask you guys, what did you think of that video? Because that was a bit of a different video for me. Since I've had this fish room, there's just tons of stuff going on all the time. And I just took the opportunity because there's so much things going on to just, make a vlog over the couple of days 3 or 4 days. And I hope that it was interesting. And I can keep doing those kinds of videos if you want me to. It's just kind of stuff that I'm already doing and I just get a video out of it. And hopefully you guys get entertained by it. I really do put a lot of effort into making that as entertaining as possible. But I was just wondering if you guys like that video. So yeah, you can get those tubs from Kmart. And that was actually really fun. You won't believe I'm making another vlog about the power going out. But because if you guys watch that video, you would have seen the longfin kois. He made some beautiful. He had a beautiful spawn. It's like this unbelievable amount of fry. I couldn't even count it. It was hundreds of fry, like a ridiculous amount, more than angelfish, I think. It was just this huge spawn. So yeah, I'll show that in the next vlog. But did you guys like that video? Not into bettas, but the video was informative. Cool. Would you ever breed discus? I would. Day in the fish room style videos are great. Yeah, awesome. Yeah, it was very interesting. So it seems like everyone liked it. That's great. So yeah, because I'm not going to stop making all my other types of videos, but I just thought that I can optimize the content that I'm making. And if it's good content, I will never put up something that I wouldn't personally watch. But it gets me it's easier for me to put out more content in vlog style videos because I don't have to really go out of my way to make that video. Now, I'm still going to make lots of informational videos. I've got a big list to go through. And I've got a bunch of little betta breeding series things that I've got to finish up, and then I'm going to do some other fish. But yeah, no, that'd be cool. We already got a good question here. Plans for pea puffers? Yes, definitely. There's a guy who's in Australia. He's been breeding them in their hundreds, and I don't know whether it's entirely legit, but apparently they're going to go for sale pretty soon. I'm not actually going to get them with the intention of breeding them. Like, obviously, I'm going to try when they're ready, but I'm just getting them because I've got a ton of snails and I want to do something with the snails. So instead of just chucking them outside, I might as well feed a fish, and instead of chucking them in the bin and stuff like that, because I've got so many snails because I overfeed everything. So yes, definitely plans to get some pea puffers. I reckon I can make a lot of cool content with the pea puffers. I think, I don't know, I probably talked about this on every single live stream I've ever done, but you're not allowed to bring pea puffers into Australia for some reason. So that's what makes them so expensive here. Like, they're like, I think $100, $200 a fish, and in the States they're like $2, $3, I thought. So yeah, very pricey and pretty annoying. But yeah. I have a community of angelfish for years, but no pair has spawned yet. Is it better to select pairs and put them in breeding tanks? So I have never actually seen that happen before. So maybe, I don't know how many angelfish you got. Normally the best number to get is like 6 to 8. And then you put them in like a big 4-foot tank and they just naturally pair off when they're ready. So if they haven't paired off, maybe you just get a few more. Don't select them and bring them out, because what's going to happen is the best pairs are the ones that naturally choose each other. You can force stuff to breed, like I've done with rams and things like that, but they kind of just breed once or twice and then hate each other, and there's one hiding and they're always like attacking each other. So you're better off letting them naturally pair off. But yeah. Well, I think that you should just add a couple more to the tank. Sorry, there's a ton of people here. I've never had this many people in a stream, so there's lots of questions to get through. I'm probably not going to be able to see them all. So I'm trying to have a look, but it gets a bit overwhelming. It's crazy seeing all you guys here. I really, really appreciate it. How to breed Asian stone catfish. Make a video on that. I don't know what the heck that is. I'm going to have a look, actually. I wish that I keep saying this on every single stream, but Asian stone catfish. Oh, maybe I know what that is. Yeah, maybe I'll get them. Perfect for nano tanks. Yeah, that sounds like right up my alley. I say this on every single stream, but I feel like I'm such a noob with all this streaming stuff. Like, for instance, I've got, what's it called? This one FaceTime HD camera that only goes to 720p's. So I still haven't got a good camera. I mean, the best thing I've got is this microphone, because I got this for recording like podcasts and stuff, which I never did. And I don't know how to do all the stuff with like OBS and things like that, where I can put like photos up on the screen. I need to learn it, because I think StreamYard is a good option. I might get into that, but I don't know. I don't know what I'm doing too well. So just bear with me. I'm trying to make everything better, but I'm really focusing on the videos at the moment. So yeah, I'm just going to keep it like this for the moment, like all the newbie kind of like nerdy, bad setup until I can upgrade it. But what time is it there? It's 2:30. It's 2:30 p.m. in Australia, so it's just the afternoon. Have you bred cichlids? Yeah, I bred lots of cichlids. Not Africans, but I've bred I've bred a bunch of apistos. I've bred angelfish. What else have I bred? Some rams. I'm not great at rams yet. I think one thing that I've learned in the past couple of weeks is I've learned this because I bought some German rams to raise up and breed myself. One thing I've learned in the past couple of weeks, especially with these black rams, I believe the black rams that I've got are from a farm and like overseas, and they've been imported. And the reason I believe that is just because of how bad and hard they have been to take care of. Rams, I know they're really well known for being finicky fish, but I just can't believe how finicky rams are. Like, I've kept stuff in the past. I haven't kept discus yet, but the rams have been just ridiculous. And I think it's just because in the farms they're pumped up with hormones and they're just not good quality fish. And they come in, it's the same as like neon tetras and all that. I've talked about it heaps, where they come in and they've got they're really skinny and they've got all these problems. And I was talking with this breeder and he said the key to success with rams is getting quality brood stock. So I've got some locally bred rams now coming through. I'm actually going to have a couple of them available on my website. So they're not up yet, but they will be when they get a little bit bigger, because I don't want to sell really small fish. So I'm growing them up to breed them. But what I was going to say is, yeah, I mean, like the black rams have just been so hard to breed lately. So I don't know what it is. I think they come in with a bunch of hormones in them, and then they're infertile. Like I've had the black rams spawn like 5 times, and this is in the new fish room, and they just haven't fertilized the eggs, or it's just been a massive pain in the bum because, all I need is one good spawn in this fish room, and I'm sweet. I'll have a brooder stock, and then I can breed them up and sell them, and all this kind of stuff. So very, very annoying. Yeah, I have German dark rams and black night rams. The dark ones have been giving me a harder time. Yeah, they're a difficult fish to keep, and I've underestimated how hard they are. And I don't think it's the fish. I think it's just that the farms sell poor quality fish, and they come in, they got sunken in bellies like mine came in with. Mine came in with Camellinus worms, which was a pain in the butt. I'm still dealing with that. Like, you shouldn't be dealing with that still. It just keeps coming back in this one tank. So I've been really careful not to cross-contaminate tanks, but I'll make an update video when I get back from Tasmania, and you guys will see all the stuff that's going on in the fish room. But that has been really difficult. So just getting the black rams to breed. So hopefully this quality. Have I been pulling the eggs? Yes, I've been pulling the eggs every time infertile. And I've been putting them in RO water with methylene blue infertile. So it's not, and they're also in a tank with RO water with a TDS of 50. It's the perfect water. It's just that they're either a dud male or a dud female. I don't know what the deal is, but it's definitely a male and a female as well. So we'll just see. I'm playing it patient. Eventually black rams are going to find their way into Australia anyways. So at some point I'm going to be breeding them. It's just that I would like to be breeding them now. But that's just how it is. A couple of days ago, I got a new plant. This is a question. What I know the next morning, half of my fish died. Do you know what it might be? Not too sure. Probably an ammonia spike or something like that. I have no clue because that doesn't normally happen when you add plants. Yeah, it sounds pretty bad. So yeah, I guess everyone's here. We can start talking about what happened this week. So bit of a long story. I'm making a vlog, but the vlog's not going to go into as much detail as I'm going to go into now. Now it's not a super extensive story, but basically, yeah, this week. So this is on Thursday. So here it's Sunday now. So what happened was, so Thursday's actually New Year's Eve. So I was going to go out to a party because it's New Year's Eve. And I come to the fish room every morning and every night. That's just how, that's just my schedule now. And the fish room's not too far away. So I actually quite, I enjoy it. I get out of the house, I get to do something. I get to go to the fish room, check up on it. And the fish room's been doing really well. Lots of the stuff settled in. I told you guys last time I did a stream, actually, I hadn't had a successful spawn of angelfish. I've had 3 now. So everything's settled in, doing all pretty good. And, I was walking in there, I was all confident, and I get to the garage and I lift up the door and everything's off. The power's off, and it's 5 o'clock in the arvo, and I had someone to be at 6:30. And this is that, I don't know, it's so stressful. So I lift it up. I'm in a building, and upstairs there's a cafe, and there's other stuff there. And everyone's away because it's obviously New Year's Eve. Everyone's on holidays. And thank God that upstairs the cafe was still there. So I thought the whole street's power's gone out, and that's just going to be on in a second. So I look around, and the whole street still has power. So I'm like, oh no, have I blown something? And I'm looking around the fish room, and nothing's blown. And yeah, at this point, I'm just literally, I couldn't explain it any other way. I felt like I had hair falling out. I've been stressed before, but this was super stressful because I didn't want to get stung with something like this so early, especially after everything had settled in. So I go upstairs and I talk to the cafe guy, and he's got power too. So I'm super confused. I call the landlord, and I'm I was just so lucky as well that the landlord picked up the phone. And I call the landlord, and I'm just the power's out, what's happened? And they're thinking, oh, yeah, there must have been something, they did something wrong with your power review. So basically the building I'm in, like I said, if you've watched any of the building videos of the fish room, the garage actually used to belong to the cafe. So what happened was when the cafe swapped tenancies, because I came in between tenancies, I split that off from the cafe and then put like that. So that's treated as a separate spot in the building now, my fish room and the cafe. So the power changed and they did the power review because the cafe guys just moved in. And for some reason, the energy company stuffed up and they put it through, which is, I think is super illegal. They put it through as like a turning off the power. And like a bloke just came literally on New Year's Eve, so 3 hours before I came. So I was actually there in the morning, and he just literally turned off the power to the fish room. So I was like super confused. They figured it out that it was that. And then the cafe guy, I owe him my life because he let me. So what I did was I got my air pump and I like used some extension cords. I got like ran to Bunnings, ran to the hardware store, got a huge extension lead and ran it upstairs, and that gave me power to the air pump and the fryer system. So I was able to keep the little water pumps going and the air pump going there. So that was super, super stressful. The lights were off so the power came back on yesterday. So I had like all of Friday and most of Saturday off. So that was super, super stressful. But yeah, I was just super lucky the cafe guy was there too because he closed after what's it called? For that, I just got super, super lucky. But that was so stressful. And yeah, so yesterday the guy came back and he turned the power back on. But I didn't lose any of my breeding stock. The only thing I lost, and something that I've learned from this, is I had some of the peppermint, because I literally just had my first peppermint spawn, which is super annoying. Had some of them go. I think just what happens is they need the flow. The water gets stagnant and they lose like oxygen and all that kind of stuff, and the water gets like ammonia in it. So the fry boxes were the things that suffered. I lost a few peppermints, not too many. I still got most of my spawn, and I lost a bunch of angelfish, which is very irritating as well. So, like I said in my vlog, I'm planning on, bringing down the production. Well, I have been over the past couple of weeks, except for this betta project, because I'm going away for 5 nights. So I've got someone coming daily to come take care of the fish room. But you know how fry are. They need to be fed twice a day at least, like even more if you can. And so, yeah, disappointing, but that's just part of it. And, all the stuff is okay. Like all the breeding stock and everything that is really, really important at this point in time is okay. So that's all good. So peppermint bristlenose, that's what I was talking about. I thought we got a lot of peppermint bristlenose over here in Australia. So yeah, but it wasn't ergon. It was, I think it was Energex or whatever, but they literally made a huge mistake. And I don't know how, like, I think what they have to do, even when they do a power review, is give you a date when they're going to turn the power off. They can't just come and turn off the power. So I have no clue what the heck happened. But yeah, it was super annoying. But yeah, so that's the story. I literally, that was so stressful. What have I learned from it? I'm going to get a generator, because if that happens and I was in Tasmania, that would have been carnage. Like that would have been so bad. So I need a generator. I need to get cameras so that I can monitor the fish room, because I haven't got them yet. They're on the way, but super annoying. Because then otherwise, I wouldn't even have known if I didn't go check it that night, and I would have lost a ton more fish. So anyone here who's listening, comment below if you've had the power go off and there's any horror stories, or if you've learned anything from that, because any advice I'm really open to. I'm never going to act like I'm the expert of anything. I still make mistakes all the time. I'm still learning. I'm not a master breeder or anything like that. So, yeah, any advice is really appreciated. But I just found out my PV system was off for the last month. The bill was crazy high this month. What's PV? Is that I don't know. Is that something to do with the water or electricity or yeah? How can I know if my female betta is ready to mate or not? So the best way to tell, again, not an expert betta breeder, but I've got a little bit of experience now. When I was first doing it, the best way to judge is actually time. So I think the bettas take about 2 weeks to be ready. And then after that amount of time, if you're feeding the right food, so high protein foods and high quality foods, they're always just pretty much ready. The best way to tell, but is that little ovipositor on the bottom of the female, which is where the eggs come out. It really comes out, and the female looks super plump, like almost like she's got dropsy. And you don't want to give your fish dropsy, but that's the best way to tell, is almost when they look like they have dropsy. Because the females get super plump. Like I've seen females where they're gravid, so full of eggs, and it's not dropsy, that it looks like they've got dropsy, like they're pine coning. So that's the best way to tell. Yeah, I've lost my freshwater pipefish due to a power outage. Most of the fish were fine with it. PV equals solar. Your solar was off. That's not good. Yeah, because that would have definitely bumped up your electricity bill. I once had a power outage and killed all my tetras and my guppies died. Yeah, it's terrible. I find that one of the worst, so when the power goes out, you obviously lose your air pumps, and your air pumps make all the oxygen in the water and keep the nitrate cycle going. And the worst thing about power outages is heavily stocked tanks. So if you're breeding anything, it's the heavily stocked tanks that go down first. Like I said, my fry systems, because there's 400 fish in this tiny container just with a bit of water. And the reason they stay alive is because that water is constantly circulating, so it's constantly fresh. And yeah, they just get nuked because they all suffocate, or there's a huge ammonia spike from all the waste that's on the bottom, which normally you don't deal with. So yeah, it's very annoying. My power went out for a day. I had to scramble to get a converter of a 12-volt battery. Didn't lose any fish, thankfully. One thing that I can recommend actually to all you guys who don't have a huge fish room and have maybe 10 tanks is get what's it called, battery powered air pumps, and just get a couple online, and they can really save you. If you'd seen my channel before, I had this huge fish room. The best thing to have was battery powered air pumps. I actually never needed them, and that was me being stupid. I should have had some, but those are the best ways to get past a power outage, because normally it's going to happen at some point. You got to be ready for it. And that's probably the best way to save your fish. The other thing is that you have to consider, I live in a subtropical area where the temperature is normally fine for tropical fish anyways. So during winter, sometimes in Brisbane it gets down to 8 degrees, but that's Celsius, by the way. That's still not going to affect the water too much. If the power, I don't know what I'm trying to say. I don't really have to worry about temperature like other people do. So even in my fish room, there's so much water in there that the room kind of self-insulates itself, so it doesn't lose the temperature when the power goes out. So the only risk for me is the air. But yeah, the best way, I saw someone ask a really good question. How do you deal with where is it, with the tanks overheating in Australian summer? All heaters off, tanks getting to 29 and 30 degrees. So I actually don't have a problem with this normally. I don't try to keep my fish that hot. I actually run my fish room at 27. And then I keep all the fish, the plecos and stuff and rams, high up in the fish room because the hot air rises. So they all stay up the top of the fish room, and then your cories and your stuff that doesn't like it super hot stays down the bottom. So that's how I do it. The best way to probably do it is to have it in some kind of insulated room where you can control the temperature. So if you have an aircon in the room or something like that, that helps. Or if you have it underground, I found. So if you have a basement, that helps. If your fish tank's getting sunlight, that's going to nuke it. That's not going to be good for it. But it depends also what kind of fish you got, because a lot of the stuff, if you think about where it comes from in the wild, the water normally gets to about 25 to maybe 28 degrees max, but they'll be all right for a little bit of time. It's good for them. They'll think it's it's the seasonal cycle in their natural body. That's what they go through in the wild. So I normally don't have a problem with it. The other thing, but if I was you, you can get a chiller. You can put ice in the tank. I've seen people do that with a water bottle. I've never tried that, so I can't recommend that. But yeah. What's your opinion on instant cycling? I personally think it's a valid method of cycling a tank. So one thing that's interesting about cycling a tank, I was actually reading a Facebook post about it. So someone was complaining that there was a fish store that refused to sell them fish because they hadn't cycled their tank for a month. And in my opinion, I was kind of on two sides of the fence here. So I understand, like, yeah, it's good for the people who are selling the fish, and it's good for the fish that someone's done that. But also, on the other hand, it's like the people who are going to go and buy the fish are just going to go somewhere else. So it's bad for your business, but good for the fish. And what I was going to say about it is, like, the problem with leaving, like, there's no set time frame for cycling your tank, right? So if you think about the tank, it needs to get its nitrogen cycle going. And like I said, I'm not a complete expert. There's people who are like actual scientists that know this stuff really well. But in my opinion, you need something in the tank to kick that nitrogen cycle, like get it going. Because nitrifying bacteria and things like that don't, like, if they don't have anything to denitrify and eat off of, then there's not going to be anything present in the tank. So what's going to happen is like, say you set up a tank and you leave it for like a month, but there's no fish in it, then the water's going to have some like bacteria in it, but you're just going to add the fish. They're going to create a bunch of waste in the air. You're going to have your ammonia spike anyways. So one of the things, like, a lot of people like to add, like you said, like the question said, the chemicals, not the chemicals, like the culture things where you add them to the tank, it's got the bacteria in it. I actually think those could be good. I don't use them. One of the best things to do, I've done this in the past, is add like a piece of like raw shrimp or something like that, prawn, and just let that sit down the bottom of the tank for like a couple of days, and that's going to start to rot, and then that'll kick your aquarium into gear. The way I cycled the fish room was I used a bunch of sponges from my old fish room. I brought them in, and then I seeded all the Matten filters with them. So that's kind of how I do it. But you have to consider too, like, that's why I kind of didn't get the post, because I was like, why? I just don't see that working, and it's not educating the people properly if they've just come and made an angry post about your business. You need to tell them and explain to them how that works, and it sounds like the fish store didn't really fully have an understanding of that either. So yeah, like, it's just easy for a fish store to say, oh, leave it for a week, because they have to explain it to every new fish keeper that comes in, but you have to like understand how that stuff works. I don't think leaving your tank is the best option. I think you have to have something to start that cycle for you. So yeah. Whoop. There we go. Whoops. Bit of an accident there. We've got some more questions here. Favorite fish for parental care for their fry? I think some of the best ones are actually my pistos. My orange flash female absolutely loves taking care of her fry, and she's super, super good parent. She's actually still got some that I haven't collected. And I took like the way I collect the fries, I get a siphon and I suck them up. So not like a big siphon, little airline tubing. And, you know, there's like 50 fries. So I think there was 2 left in there, and she's still taking care of them. So I got to take them out so she breeds again. But that's pretty like a week and a half late, like after I'd taken them out. So they're very, very good. And they're interesting parents to watch. They actually have their little, what's the bottom fins underneath the fish? They use them to direct the fry where they want to eat, like where the food is and stuff like that. So they're very, very good. Got Lazarus here. Can one male betta live with a pair of angelfish? I actually wouldn't recommend doing that, because angelfish become very aggressive, especially if you've got a pair, and bettas aren't the fastest fish. So they've got really big fins that look like really good to nip, and they're probably not the best mix, especially because of the size difference. I haven't made a video about betta tank mates, but I'd recommend like endlers, tetras, cories, and maybe some rams. I still wouldn't recommend that. But yeah, definitely wouldn't recommend what's it called? Angelfish. That would not be a good mix, I don't think. But maybe some people are doing it. Who knows? What medications do you use for your fish here in Australia? Actually, that reminds me, I'm going to take down a list. I need to stock up on a medication. Thank you so much for doing that. So my medication, so I use flubendazole, and I use, so these are all the chemicals. So flubendazole, praziquantel, and just like a basic ick medicine. And I also use, what's it called? I can't remember it. It's like the external parasite one. I don't remember it. But Flubendazole is good for camellianus worms. Praziquantel is good for internal worms, so white stringy poop worms. And you need your ick medicine just for when you bring stuff in, so you bring ick in. And the tapeworm tablet is the one that's got the I have to make a list of all this stuff, but those are the medications that I use. So if you just take down a list of those ones, I find that they work the best. Flubendazole, though, I've talked about this in the last stream, I believe. It's not that great. I wish we had levamisole, is it? Levamisole we can't get here because I don't care about being explicit. People use it actually to cut cocaine, I'm pretty sure. So the regulation on it here is pretty intense. So you can't get it. There's some people that have it, that have the licenses, but apparently the licenses are so expensive, and the amount of levamisole that they sell isn't enough, and they have to fill out all these forms and things like that. But yeah, it is used to cut cocaine. So well, that's what I've heard and read on the internet, and that's why it's restricted here. But that's apparently like the holy grail medication to use. We don't have it easily here. So yeah. What's a good breeding tank size for a pair of discus? I think 30 gallons is the size that a lot of people use. I haven't bred discus yet. But I think that's the size that a lot of people use. I'm going to be getting discus soon, but I obviously haven't because I'm about to go away. And I haven't experienced discus before, so I kind of like want to know what I'm doing. When is the electric blue ram vid coming? When they decide to breed. I might have to get some more. I'm going to try and find someone that's local and get some local breeding stock, because like I said at the start of the stream, it's all about the breeding stock in my opinion now. I'm super sick of buying fish that have been imported because they're just full of hormones and they're not good. So I think if I ever am selling rams or I'm doing some kind of online fish retail stuff like I've been experimenting with, I always try and find, I won't sell fish that I wouldn't want to keep. And that's like why, like when I got these fish in that I've sold now, which is, by the way, anyone here that has bought fish from me, thank you so much. I was actually completely blown away with how much support everyone gave me. I never wanted to like be selling stuff to you guys or anything like that. It just, but yeah, I don't know. I was completely blown away by that. But one of the things that's really important for me is bringing in really healthy fish and really good fish. And one of the things I will never do is bring in imported rams. It's like, unless I find a seller that's got like, hormone-free perfect rams, I'd rather go local and just give you guys really quality fish because, yeah, my rams have been just a nightmare. But yeah, do you have any tips for breeding gold laser corridoris? I'm glad someone asked this question because I don't. I actually have had one spawn for my gold lasers and I haven't had one since. I think it's because they're not mature yet. And when they did spawn, I took the eggs out and they weren't fertilized. So maybe it was like a really mature female that came in from like another batch and was in my tank and it laid the eggs, but nothing had bred with it. So it hasn't happened since. I think what's going to happen is maybe in like, I don't know, 9 months time, they might be breeding and I can give you some tips, but it sounds like it's just the same as any other corridori, high protein, lots and lots of food, live foods if you can do it. And then a big cold water change with RO or something like that. It's definitely going to kick them into gear, I think. So, yeah. Any way to trigger bristlenose to breed? I've tried a cold water change. So bristlenose just take time. I think they breed every 4 weeks for me, every month. So sometimes they breed quicker. But yeah, like a cold water change can kick them into gear. One of the things actually that I noticed that you might all find cool is I live in a stormy area, and now this is what we call storm season here. Well, this is what all the Pleco guys have said to me. It's breeding season. So apparently something to do with the storms kicks plecos into gear. So what you want to do is you focus on getting all your breeding stock like really, really fat and gravid, and then like a storm rolls through and the atmospheric pressure drops or something like that. And then they all spawn. And this actually did happen for me. So I had 2 pairs of bristlenose go in the one night after a storm. So maybe you got to wait for a storm. I don't really know. But apparently they can sense it. And I also had my peppermints breed, but there was no storm. Maybe there was. I don't remember. But apparently they can sense it. And yeah. Thanks, Sarah, for the haircut comment. It's all right. I would have liked maybe a little bit more length, but I don't really care. What's been your favorite fish to breed? So this changed every week. At the moment, I remember the first time I bred, what's it called? Epistos. That was pretty fun. And I've always liked breeding angelfish. Cories are fun to breed too. Corridories are a great fish to breed. And like I said, I haven't really put a lot of effort into it yet because I'm still waiting for a lot of stuff to be mature. Because like the only things that are really mature for me are my Trillineatus cories or Trilineatus, whatever you want to call them. I finally got my name around that. I'm in my head around that name. The pandas, the and the albinos. The Simulus have started to spawn for me. The black Venezuelans haven't. The gold lasers have spawned once, but that's nothing. And I'm still waiting on like my skunk cories and my what's it called, bandit cories to mature as well. So, you know, a lot of the big game with what's it called, the holy grail tip for any catfish, I think, is just time. But yeah, KFS, that ornamental fish farming book, is one of the best I've read. That's awesome. I'm glad people liked it. I actually had, like I said, we've almost sold out. So we've got, this is, I didn't want to talk about it because I'm not trying to sell this at all. This is the last one I've got, which is, that's why I don't want to talk about it as well, because I've been talking to the wholesaler and the book was printed in, I think, 2011. So I talked to the wholesaler. I got all of the books that I could. And there's one left on my website. And I was literally talking to him today, and apparently there's no more. And I asked for the number for the guy who actually wrote the book. And he said that like he's friends with him, and he said that he's got no more as well. So I don't want to talk about it anymore because I can't keep selling them. So yeah, there's only one left. You guys were so supportive with me on that. And I really appreciate everyone who bought a book. We sold like, you know, it might not seem like a lot, but I sold like, I think 17 or 18. And yeah, it was just crazy that, like, I've never tried to sell anything, and it was just amazing that you guys really backed me on that. So it is worth it. It is a great book. I've been using it for a lot of information, and it's taught me a lot. It's got a lot of little things in it, like recipes and for like fish food and stuff like that. But that honestly it's a great book, and that book taught me more than more about business than it did about fish, because I just never knew that anyone would be interested in buying stuff from me. So thank you everyone who bought that book. I'm trying to find a way to get more. I might even ask like the guy if he's ever going to print them again. I'm actually a bit bummed that there's no more available after this. So yeah, I don't know. I'm trying to figure out a way to get more because it's a really, really good book. But yeah, people talking about missing the mustache. Oh my gosh. Those days are gone. That was I felt like that was a bad time. Would you ever fly to the US for Aquashella 2021? Actually, I've actually really thought about this before. So yeah, I would. And not because like I want to go around and, you know, be like, hey, whatever, it's me here. I literally just want to go and experience it. Like, I consider myself a hobbyist, and I want to go there and experience it. And I'm actually an American citizen, so I can go to America whenever. I could live in America if I wanted to. I could set up a business in America. So I definitely will be doing that. I don't know if we're going to do it next year because of the whole world situation. I'm not willing to sit in a quarantine room for 2 weeks or whatever when I come back, because I wanted to go to Aquashella. And the other thing too is that I've got what's it called? A whole fish room here. So anything that I do has to be quick. I reckon the longest time I could spend away from the fish room is like 2 weeks at the moment. And but I definitely would. So maybe when all this stuff ends, I'll go to Aquashella, but I'd love to go and see it. Michael's Fish Room on YouTube has lots of plecos. Check him out, maybe. Yeah, I've seen lots of his videos. I actually love his videos a lot. If you could go back in time, what fish would you start breeding first? That's a really good question. I never think in the past about like things. I don't regret anything. But for profit, I'd breed angelfish, and I would breed angelfish, and I would breed something maybe one type of pleco or something like that. And then that way it'd give me, because like the angelfish will always sell, and the pleco would be like a little bit of bonus money when they do breed eventually. So I'd probably start doing that. I wouldn't do guppies. There we go. I think someone already bought the last book. So I'm sorry, there's no more books available now. Thanks to whoever bought the book. Yeah, I don't know. It's a little bit bittersweet for me. But yeah, I wouldn't start with guppies again unless I knew about how to medicate them properly and how to feed them, like how to make sure they don't get internal parasites, which is like the big thing that they always come in with when they come from the farms. So the other thing too is I think guppies are a little bit harder to sell. One of the best ways to sell, like the thing that's hard about breeding guppies for profit is that you're competing with the farms. Over here, if you breed angelfish and stuff like that, you can really, like, I don't know, you can focus. Like if you grow up angelfish to adult size, you can always beat the farms because they're easier to ship around and you can actually profit on what the farms spend on shipping the fish here. So big angelfish, if you grow them up, are worth a lot. Like you can sell like a big meaty adult angelfish that takes like 9 months to grow up for like $30. And that's a big difference from the $3 you get or whatever from like a little small baby one. So maybe that's a business you could do when you breed angelfish, like take one spawn if you don't have enough room, grow them all up to adults, sell them, and then do another spawn. That's maybe a business idea there, but I'd definitely start with angelfish. They've been the easiest fish for me to take care of by far. Definitely one of my, well, like probably, like I'm never not going to have angelfish, I don't think. So guppy's one of my best sellers over the summer, but there has been a shift in interest recently. Yeah, that's the other thing too with the hobby is like it's always changing. And I find that the way demand in the hobby goes is it's just whatever people don't have, people want. Like, so what's going to happen is, for instance, like I've seen it just, I don't know if this is true because I can't buy anything like in the States, but I've seen rice fish has become really popular from, what's it called? Like Aquarium Culp, I think, made it really popular. So anyone who had rice fish before that would have just been sitting on this huge like gold mine, and then this demand would have just come and like exploded, and everyone who had rice fish then would have made a lot of money. But then now everyone's got them, and I think that now like that's kind of saturated, and now they've come back down to being like less profitable. And it's always the case. Like you got to kind of think about what people want. That's just how it, like, does that make sense? I'm trying to make sense. It's whatever people don't want is what's popular in the hobby. So yeah, but like, I mean, as well, like you're always going to be able to sell stuff normally, like HCAC was talking about. It's like, so apparently it is a trend, but yeah. Corey had been working hard to popularize rice fish in the USA, but it never really took off here. Yeah, I don't think it did take off in Australia because there's so much other stuff that we can keep that's very similar, like rainbow fish. And like if you want to keep a pond, a better fish to do is like blue eyes here. So yeah. How do you keep your fish healthy while away? So I'll be covering this in the vlog that's going to come up. I haven't even recorded this yet, but I'm going to be doing it. The best way to keep them healthy is to, I don't know, have good karma to make sure that you haven't done anything bad and that you got everything going your way. But the people, like, I mean, the best thing to do is not go away for a long time. Like if I wasn't going with my family, I wouldn't have left yet. They're coming and feeding once a day, making it easy. I think the best thing you can do is prep before you leave. So try and focus on really getting the fish fat and healthy and then leaving so they've got that immunity to last a long period of time without food. Because like as well, the people that are coming and taking care of my fish room is like a mate who helped me build the fish room, and like I completely trust him. But if you hire someone, the way it goes with pets is they come once, they feed all the food in the one go, and then they don't come back and just take the money, like, and act like they did come every day. So it's like hard. There's no real science to it. And that's like, yeah, I'll just never leave my house is what people are saying. Good karma. I'm never leaving my fish. Exactly. Yeah, you need actually one of the things that's probably going to be underrated as a piece of advice is to get another hobbyist to come and take care of it. So if you're really involved with like your local club or whatever, that's a pretty good option. I was actually going to complain about this here. This isn't a complaint. I don't try and be negative at all, but the clubs here in Brisbane have just died down since coronavirus. And I'm thinking maybe, I don't know if this is like a bad idea. Anyone that's in Brisbane, just comment. But like if we set up like a club and just like another different type of club, I don't know what the deal is. Like, I don't know how you set it up, like with all the tax and stuff like that. I don't know if you need to do that. But if we set up a club just so we could do auctions here, would anyone even want to join, like, or come? Because, you know, I'm like, I want to have these fish auctions again. Everyone in the States has them. We just don't have them here, like, anymore. I've been to one auction in the past 2 years. So I'm just thinking maybe that'd be a good option. Like if we did like at least quarterly, like 4 times a year, we had a big auction and everyone got to buy stuff and swap stuff. I know that there's like Angfa and things like that, and they do meets, I think, once a month, and they do little auctions there. But I think, I don't know, they're not doing anything now. So yeah. Can I speak fast enough to be the auctioneer? Probably. I speak very quick, but I probably wouldn't do that. I'd probably have to if I set it up, because no one else would want to do it. But yeah, even quarterly sometimes doesn't feel like enough. Yeah, no. And the other thing too, I have a bone to pick with the auctions is like, you don't want them to be like, you want them to in some respect be an opportunity for people to get rid of stuff and sell it cheap and just like treat it like they're just giving it away and get like a little bit of money. But I've seen auctions turn into stuff where it's ridiculous. Like people are selling like bags of crushed coral, and it's like, well, that's just like stupid. Like just throw that out. So I wouldn't want it to be like that. You'd want it to be regulated, and you'd want, I don't know how you'd structure it, but if anyone was going to join, definitely say yeah, because maybe we could do that. That could be fun. I got into fish keeping at the start of the pandemic. Feels like the worst time. No, it's not actually, because you got to spend a ton of time around your fish tanks at the start. That's going to really help your interest, because I feel like if you got them before the pandemic, it's too distracting. Like a lot of people, like they have like their job and their kids and things like that. You don't really get to enjoy the fish tank as much when you first get it. So now that you're like fully involved in it, it's probably going to be better for you long term, if that makes sense. Like you're going to have more time to absorb and learn and become obsessed. So yeah. But like, yeah, I mean, you did miss out on all the auctions and things like that, and demand got it high and everything got more expensive. But yeah. But yeah, I don't know. Even like quarterly, someone said like even quarterly sometimes doesn't feel like enough like frequency for an auction. So yeah, like I almost want one every month just to let everyone kind of swap around stuff and get new things to do. But a lot of the time too, it takes like a quarter for your breeding stock or like anything you've bred to be sellable. So I feel like it's also a good time. But yeah. How do you keep the smell down in your fish tanks? Well, you got to keep them clean. And I guess a dehumidifier sometimes helps, because the humidity can make the fish room really smell. So that's probably the best way. Keeping the mulm sometimes can make a tank smell. Substrate sometimes can make a tank smell. But yeah. If you had a membership, I would join. Yeah, I've thought about doing that, but to be honest, I don't know. I didn't want to do, I was going to ask you guys this question, because I feel like there's like, anyone here is like the most likely to join a membership. And because like, I mean, you guys care enough to watch me just talk and answer questions and not really talk about anything. But I wanted to just hear me out here, because I consume a lot of YouTube. I watch all the videos that you guys watch, I think. Like I watch lots and lots of fish videos, and there's like, I don't know. I've considered doing memberships, but the only reason I would do memberships isn't like, I wouldn't want to like, take your money. It's not about that. One of the problems with content is, especially when you get a little bit more, like I'm not the king of content, but the best, like when you start getting better at making content and understanding how YouTube works is you filter out a lot of the stuff that you actually want to post. So like, for instance, the video today, I was a bit like, yeah, how you going on it? Because I didn't want to post something that YouTube would punish me for posting. Like, there's tons of stuff that I do in my fish room, like just like things that are, I don't know, like maintaining the fry system and going really in depth on it and things like that, where if I made a video on it, it would get no views. And then like, that doesn't bother me that it doesn't get any views. But then YouTube punishes you on the next video because they think your audience has lost interest. So then people like go, well, I'm subscribed to you and I have the notifications on, but I don't get them for like 2 days after. So that's where I feel like a membership system could come in useful, because like that content that I make on the membership system would be like just really things that I couldn't post on the YouTube channel, because otherwise, yeah, I don't know, it'd be bad. Like people going, yeah, like a second channel for that. That could be a good idea too. But yeah, I don't know how I feel about it. So I feel like the other thing too is it's like if people wanted to like support, because the other problem is I'm in Australia, and now that KFS, like it's revolved, like the brand is built around me, like, but it is still a brand. I can't sell, like 5% of my audience is in Australia. So I can't sell like 95% of the people here fish. So I don't know. I don't know if I'll do it. Let me know what you guys think. Like, just put like a thumbs up or a thumbs down for a membership thing. I'm probably leaning more towards maybe creating a second channel. But who really knows? We'll see. But that's what I think about memberships. I personally don't buy memberships because I'm like, I don't know. I don't feel like it's the right thing to do sometimes. But that's just me being like, I overthink things a lot about like how I want things to go in the channel. And I'm very like, I'm a perfectionist. So I just personally, I'm not like the kind of guy that buys memberships, but yeah. Anyways. Have you ever thought about breeding electric blue Acaras? I actually haven't. Maybe I will at some point. I haven't really looked into it. I've got to get the electric blue rams to breed first, but yeah. I'm an Australian, but I'm in South Australia, so bugger, I would go to your fish auction. So yeah, that'd be cool if we did that. But yeah, no, that's the thing too. It's like, it's so like a lot of the fish stuff is localized because we're keeping live animals, but YouTube's globalized. So the way you run a business on YouTube is so different for fish rather than, for instance, like a clothing company. KFS on a hoodie and a mustache on it, and I'll give you the money. It's all right. I don't think I'll be doing a mustache hoodie. Or maybe I will. What do I do for a living? So I'm like kind of in between different things at the moment. So I do this, like I'd say I do this full time. I also do university. So I do like 3 subjects, and that's considered full time, but it's more part time because it's only 3 subjects. So I do, I do the fish full time now. And I do university. I'm actually on summer holidays right now. So I'm only doing fish right now, which is great. And I also, for a bit there, when I was still building the fish room, I had a job repairing like mobile phones, because I used to do that. I taught myself how to do that during the last year of school. So I was doing that for a bit, but now it's kind of slowed down a bit as the online stores picked up, and because of you guys, like the channel. I mean, last year was just crazy. I couldn't believe how much the channel grew. So yeah, I'm kind of, it's like this, I don't know. I feel like it's a bit like Groundhog Day. It's like every day is like what I always wanted to do when I was a little kid. I've got like my fish room, I've got the YouTube channel thing going on. I make videos, and like, that's like what I do now. So it's like pretty crazy. But yeah, I want to finish uni. I've still got like, I think just over 2 years left. No, a little bit less. I'm almost halfway through it. And then, I don't know, I'll probably be like focusing on fish after that. So we'll see. Yeah. Would there be a market for stock aquarium video clips? Definitely. I think that actually better than stock aquarium video clips would be photos, because a lot of people that run blogs and stuff like that don't just have a plethora of photos. So that's also, it seems like it could be competitive. But yeah, definitely. Do I have merch? Yeah, I have merch, but it's not the best. I've actually created all the designs myself. It's on KFS, but like, it's just literally, one of the designs is literally just the logo on a shirt. So it's just like, because I wanted to have one myself. And then there was like a keep your social distance for my tanks, which I made as a bit of a meme at the start of COVID. I probably will get rid of that one soon. And I've got 2 hats. One's like proud fish dad, proud fish mum. And yeah, that's it. I'm not the best at merch. I might start doing it, but yeah. You've grown a lot with the vlogging too, to be fair though. Yeah, no, I definitely have. I think the best thing actually for my channel was the fact that COVID gave me a lot of time to focus on content, and I got a lot better at, I think, being comfortable in front of the camera, and that made I think that made people watch my videos for longer, and that made the videos do a little bit better. But like, yeah, it's completely you guys that have made it heaps better. But yeah. Mutts will sell. People are interested in lots of color. Yes, they do. Mutts sell good for like, if you have actually at auctions, I found that mutts sell really well because people just like want a lot of color for their pond or something like that. Do you think you will move into the States someday? I don't know. I kind of feel like maybe. We'll see. I reckon I've got a lot to do here still that I want to do. And like, this is home, like all my family's here, and well, like all my immediate family, I've got like grandparents and stuff over in the States, but I don't know, maybe I will someday. But yeah, I kind of like Australia a lot too. Australia's a really good country, and you know, I'm right, like if you guys go and look on Google, like, I mean, I'm an hour and a half, 50-minute drive, then you've got like Byron Bay that's like 2 hours away. Like, I'm close to all these amazing beaches and things where like I wouldn't be if I was in the States. I'd be closer to other stuff, but like, this is my place, I think. How's your betta fry? Really good, actually. One thing that I've learned about betta fry is they grow so differently. Like, some of them grow really rapidly and some of them grow really slowly. So I'm a little bit worried about the big ones eating the small ones. So I need to like, I think when I come back, I'm going to do the swapperoo and divide them up into sizes because I've got a couple of batches. So yeah. Speaking of bettas, it'd be cool to see an update of the fry when their colors come in. Definitely. I'm definitely going to be doing that. I would love to buy one of your Koi Galaxy bettas, but I live in California. Tempted to get my nephew in Sydney to get them. I don't know how that would work because then you'd have to ship them across and it'd be so tricky. I don't know. Maybe one day I'll do it. I think one of the problems with Australia is there's like an import law and export laws. So that makes it a little bit tricky. Like, there was one person, I can't sell you a book anymore if you're in the States, but there was one person that reached out to me and he was super nice. And I was like, he's like, the reason I wasn't shipping the books worldwide is that it costs like $70 to like ship a 2 kilogram book overseas. So I thought no one wanted to pay for that. And I told him, I was like, if you really want the book, it's like $70, and he did pay it. But like, the point of the story is I had to fill out all these massive forms for exporting something from the country, and it was a book. Like, it was literally paper. So I can only imagine what a fish would be. So I haven't tried it yet, but maybe I will. Keeping fish simple, your videos are so positive and straightforward with all your viewers. You and Mark's Aquatics are my favorite YouTubers. Yeah, I love Mark's Aquatics' YouTube channel. He's a great talker. And one of the things that's best about his channel is it's different to my channel. His videos are so unedited, and I think he does it on purpose. And it makes them, like, if you've got a long time, it makes them really enjoyable to watch because it's like uninterrupted. So lots of his vlogs and things like that I find really, really relaxing to watch. He also likes to put piano music and things like that underneath, which I've kind of taken up on a few other videos. But he's a really, really good YouTuber. I really like his channel a lot. Kaz made it to the stream. It's good to see. I'm probably going to do, I don't know, maybe another half an hour. I'm kind of enjoying this a lot. It's crazy. There's like 90 people here. I've never had this many people on a stream before. I think all you guys are enjoying it. The only thing that's getting sore is my voice. I'm not used to talking for a long time. Get cam set up so you can see your fish all the time. Take that, Karma. Yeah, I'm actually going to get that. But the only reason I'm getting the cams is because I just want to know if the power's gone out. Because if I go like, for instance, this is another thing. Because the power went out on the weekend, I was actually considering going to, my family's got like the small like little hobby farm, and half my family went up, and I was considering going. And I don't know, I had a gut feeling. I was like, I probably shouldn't go. And for some reason I didn't go, but if I was there, I wouldn't have known that the power had gone out, because I would have just left it for a day, because the fish room goes fine for like 24 hours without me being there. And I would have come back and it would have been a nightmare. So that's kind of why I need it. But yeah. You should live stream from your fish room. I would, but the problem is the fish room's so loud. Like most of the time, if I've got two different mics I use. I use the Apple earphones for my phone when I use that, like when I do that. And I use this Rode shotgun mic. And the shotgun mic is terrible for recording in the fish room unless I turn the pumps off, because it's just so loud. But yeah, maybe I could. I think that I might start recording a lot of my informational videos from the fish room, but we'll see. How long did the power go out for? So the power went out from Thursday at like 12 p.m. in the afternoon, and it was out until yesterday at 12 p.m. So Saturday. So a full 48 hours. How are your two aquascapes going at your mum's house? They're going good, but I'm actually considering just getting rid of them, because one of the things I liked about the fish room is that I'm kind of separated when I come home from fish. And when I go there, I'm fully indulged in the fish. And I don't really like having the two tanks here. I only set them up so I could record in front of them. And I reckon that I'd rather just record from the fish room now and only have the fish there, so I don't constantly have fish everywhere around me, because it's just a lot to be like I'd like it if I had my own house, and then like downstairs I had a fish room and upstairs I was separated, because it'd be easier. But like I just don't like having to worry, because they're not automatically water changing, and I have to think about feeding those, and there's no fish. There's only fish in one of them, and like, yeah, I just haven't really like enjoyed keeping them. So yeah. Yeah, I've had to turn off the pumps for some of my videos too. Understood. Yeah, it's like they can be really loud, the pumps. Any idea if I can make root tabs using slow release pellet plant fertilizer as DIY root tabs? Yeah, you can. I'm not the best person to ask, but people use like Osmocote, I think. Don't quote me on that. But people use Osmocote, and they also use, I don't remember the other one, but you can put them in little like pill pockets and put them in the substrate, and that works really well apparently. But I don't know. Miracle Grow, that's it. Miracle Grow in a gelatin capsule. Got to bounce. Mobile data is struggling. Might watch when I'm home. All right. See you later. Can you do local pickup from your online order? So not at the moment. No, I don't do local pickup because I've got no retail presence. So I'm not doing local pickup at the moment. I actually had, I don't know if the person who was did this order is watching this stream. If you are, please comment. But on Christmas Day, I was driving to go to another party. So because I've got like separated parents, there's like 2 Christmases. So I was going to my dad's, and someone placed an order on Christmas, and the party like that I was going to, the person's order was literally at their like right around the corner. So while I was on the way, I literally just I went and I just dropped the order off to them on the same day. So it was like the weirdest thing ever. It would have been like an hour later after they'd ordered, and the book was just on their doorstep. I tried to like knock and be like, oh, hi. Like, yeah, sorry, a bit random that I brought the order, but they were obviously out at their lunch as well. So they had one of those Ring alarm systems, and I can imagine that they would have been like, what the heck? Like, I just ordered this book and he's here now. But that was super funny. That was on Christmas. What should you feed bristlenose pleco fry? By the way, it's 12 at 9. I just can't stop watching stuff. Are you on school holidays or something, or summer holidays? Because then it's fine. I used to do that all the time. I still do it. I was actually up really late last night watching the cricket. But I'm on a bit of high about that too. The Brisbane Heat won cricket last night finally, so that was good to watch. But what do I feed? I feed algae wafers, bristlenose pleco fry, really easy to take care of, zucchini, and rapashi. That's what I feed mine. So what got me into fish keeping how long ago? So I started fish keeping in 2013 when I was 13. And I got into it because I caught fish from the creek across the road because we just moved to this new house. And I kind of like got hooked from that, and I just got like a fish tank, like with actual guppies, not the ones I caught from the creek. And then just kind of like, I've always had a fish tank since then. I thought you owned your own house. No, I don't. I'm only 20. So I don't own a house yet. I'm saving up for one because what I want to do is have, like, instead of moving into a warehouse, I kind of want the next step to be my own house with my own fish room. And then maybe when I upgrade from that, go into a warehouse. But I'm saving up for a house. I'm like not that close to getting it, but if the YouTube channel keeps growing, maybe I will. I don't know. But yeah, I'd love to own my own house. That'd be pretty cool. Have you ever tried hydrogen peroxide for hair algae? I haven't. So for hair algae, I used Flourish Excel, and that worked really well. But yeah. MD has an awesome setup, pretty similar to that, I think. Yeah, he's like, I love his channel. I've been watching heaps of his videos lately. And that's kind of where I got the idea for doing the vlogs, because I'm like, the way he executes the vlogs is really, really good. And I admire his channel and the way he's done that. So yeah. I kind of really want to get like a like a house where I can have my fish room there. But the way me and like that guy, I don't know what his name is. Is it MD? Like, it's obviously like, maybe that's his initials, but his is mainly about aquascaping and mine's mainly about breeding. Like, maybe I'll change in the future, but I'd be setting up a fish room to breed for profit. And his is like his studio for him to show people. So it's pretty cool. What does your parents think about you working with YouTube and fish? I'm really lucky. I've got really supportive parents, and so I just got a quick cricket question. So they're really supportive. At the start, they were kind of like, I don't know, didn't really get it because it didn't make sense. And now that it's gotten a little bit bigger and a bit more real, now they just like kind of treat it as like what Nick does. It is a bit weird, but when you go to like a family reunion or something like that, and then everyone, like, this is the way everyone thinks it goes. Everyone thinks, oh yeah, you go to like a family reunion and they ask you, oh, like, Nick, what are you up to? And you go, like, you sit there in the corner, you're like, oh yeah, like, I'm breeding fish and have a YouTube channel. But the way it actually goes is I don't ever like talk about it really. But most of the time when I go to a family reunion, everyone's like, oh, how are the fish? Most of the time I've never even told them. I'm like, oh, how did you know I have like a fish YouTube? And like, oh, everyone knows you have a fish YouTube. So it's a bit, that's how it is. But no one really cares. I've always been like entrepreneurial and done things like, I had like a little phone business and I was like taking phones and fixing them and stuff like that. So I've always done entrepreneurial things. It's just like that I've worked hard on trying to like make my hobby my like living, and so far it seems to be going all right. You guys have been really, really phenomenal, and yeah, so thank you so much for everyone who's watching these videos and these live streams, because yeah, it is the reason I'm like doing what I'm doing is because of you guys. But everyone on YouTube says that. So like, I don't want to be too cringe, but yeah, it is completely your doing. Thank you so much. Aren't half your family Greek? Everyone knows everything. Yeah, that's how it is. So yeah, half my family is Greek. And yeah, everyone knows everything over there. So everyone knows that I've got fish. I think my dad thinks I treat my fish better than people. Lol. Yeah, I definitely do too. Oh no, I'd like to say I treat the fish better because I have a lot of fish, but I always try and like treat people as I want to be treated. So yeah, but I'm not like, I mean, everyone makes mistakes about stuff, but yeah. How can you estimate how many fish can you estimate how many fish you have? I think I'd probably say like easily over 1,000, just because of all this frequent spawning lately, but I'm not too sure. Maybe, yeah, at least 1,000. But yeah, have you ever thought about breeding crown tail bettas? Definitely. I'm definitely going to be doing that. I'm actually, something to look forward to on the channel is I'm going to be doing a, like video on how to set up a betta barracks. Now, I've watched lots of different videos and stuff like that, and there's not like stuff that's really like applicable to me because I've got such a small space. So I've got to like fit a little baby betta barracks system on like a wall, and I reckon I can fit like maybe 20 bettas. And the way I'm going to do it is I'm going to connect it up to a what's it called? One of the 4-foot tanks, and I'm going to treat the 4-foot tank as a sump. I'm just going to keep the 4-foot tank. It'll be like the I don't think it'll be the fry tank, but it'll be something, maybe one of the grow out tanks. And I'm going to use that to be constantly flushing in fresh water into these little containers. But I'm going to be building a betta barracks because then I can, keep my best breeding stock, and I can also keep the best bettas to sell on my website. Because the plan with the bettas is, all right, see you, Henry. Sorry, I saw a bye and I felt like I had to say bye. The plan with the bettas is to breed, like, I've got hundreds now. Like, I've got a ridiculous amount. And the plan is to sell, like, keep the best stuff for all of us to, like, for me to sell to you guys and for me to keep to breed in the future. And then all the other stuff's just going to go to a wholesaler, like, before it's mature and all the stuff's fighting, and then they can just separate it themselves. Or maybe I'll have to do it. We'll cross that bridge when we come to it. I've got a lot of bettas at the moment. So that's the plan, and I need something to keep all those bettas in. So, yeah. But I definitely will be doing crown tail because I need to add a bit of diversity to what I've got. Because if I breed like, 2,000 longfin betta koi fish, then it's going to be harder to sell them because I'm going to flood the market and all that kind of stuff. But yeah. I have an albino sailfin pleco and it keeps eating my plants. It's the only pleco that eats my plants. Are there any tips to stop it? So I think that they are known for just eating anything because they're so big. Maybe get rid of the pleco. If you want to have a planted tank, get a separate tank, or get like a smaller type of pleco. But yeah. I don't think you can use Osmocote with shrimp or snails. It has copper in it. I didn't know that. Maybe it does. I've never tried it. No, I've tried the Osmocote. Yeah, I've done the Osmocote, but I didn't have shrimp in that tank because it was what's it called? Maybe it was an attempt at a dirty tank. I don't remember. Yeah, I forgot. But I don't know if it kills shrimp or what. There'd be heaps of information online though. Do you buy live bloodworms or do you culture them? If so, how? So I've been experimenting with culturing blackworms, and I can tell you it's not easy. I don't have the facility to be culturing up heaps of blackworms. A lot of people actually do it in sewage. So that's kind of gross, and I'm not going to be doing that. But what I'm working on at the moment is I'm trying to culture white worms. So I've got a little white worm culture going. It seems to be doing really well. If you guys watch that video with Peter, I watched his, he was the one who introduced me to white worms, and he gave me part of his culture, which I really appreciate. And he's said that he had a successful worm culture going in winter. Now, I don't know whether he said that his is kind of picking up again. And So just got to get the voice going. He said his is kicking up again because if you watch like the guy, I think his name's Dave Ramsey on YouTube, he's got lots of white worm videos. You need to keep them at like 10 to 20 degrees Celsius at all times, otherwise they die. So Peter said that his is picking up now and that he's going to his culture is going well. But he said that his wine fridge doesn't work well in summer. So it's going over. Oh, thank you, John. I really appreciate that. He said that his wine fridge goes over 20 degrees in summer. So that's part of the reason that his worm culture is not doing as well. But he said in winter it does really well. Now, my fridge stays cold all the time. So it'll be interesting to see the difference, whether I can culture these around the clock, like all times of the year, because then that would be really, really good. Because one of the things that's been really expensive with the fish room is that I've been spending a ridiculous amount on live food and I haven't sold much fish yet. So the return on the live food hasn't been great. So if I can mitigate that cost and bring that down, then it'll mean that I make more profit and I can buy different fish and stuff like that. So I'm trying to find a reliable way to make live food. I've experimented with Daphnia, and I can't create quantities of Daphnia enough for my fish room size because I could culture Daphnia if I had 8 tanks like I did at home. But in the fish room that I have now where I've got 65, I think, it's just not I can make Daphnia, but not enough. So it's not worth doing. I have 3 microworm cultures going great at the moment, just sitting in my cupboard. Yeah, I think I've got 12 microworm culture going. So that's for all the baby bettas. So that's you can see the amount of food that I'm trying to make now. Oh, and the other thing I'm experimenting with is grindle worms, and they've been a lot better. So the grindles are good because I can feed them to juveniles and small fish like apistos, and some of the rams can take them, and heaps of what's it called? And heaps of cories. But I want the white worms for angelfish and your bigger stuff. So yeah. Any frozen foods I can feed apistos well. I don't have live or frozen worms. Fiber bites work well for me, but apistos like variety. So I'll keep using the Vibra bites, obviously. And they love frozen bloodworms. That's like a treat, but there's not much nutrients in them, apparently. I've only learned this in the past couple of weeks. So I think I've been I'm constantly recorrecting my message because I'm learning stuff all the time, but apparently bloodworms are not that nutritious. I don't know. But yeah, they're good. They're a little treat. And pellets, I like to feed. I've been feeding Tetra color granules, and they've been pretty good for most of my stuff. And live blackworms, I just absolutely love those. But yeah, you didn't answer my question about cricket. What was the question again? I forgot it. Have you seen Simply Better's channel? She had a neat system for her fish. Yeah, she did. That was actually the one I'm probably going to copy. She's got a very, very good system. So mine's going to be very similar to that, except it's going to be linked up and be automatically water changing. Hers wasn't, I don't think, fully linked up to a tank or anything like that. So mine's going to be a little bit different, but the same principle. So yeah. Do bloodworms cause camellitis? Yeah, that's what I was going to say. So the bloodworms don't, because they're normally, sterile because they've been frozen. But I've got a funny feeling that the live blackworms come in with diseases. So I'm not a big fan of them. If I can get my own whiteworm and grindleworm culture going, then I'd be happy, because all I'd have to do is quarantine fish really fastidiously, and then I wouldn't have to ever worry about stuff like that happening again. But yeah. Can I keep angels with epistogrammas? Yep, you can definitely do that. Just keep them in a heavily planted tank so the epistogrammas and angelfish can stay out of each other's way. Are you ever going to own coolie loaches? Yeah, definitely at some point. I think I'm going to own every kind of fish at some point. Probably not some of the monster fish. I've never been keen on them. But yeah. Would you feed mosquito larvae to your fish? Yeah, depending on where you got them, because I think that I've taken mosquito larvae out of this is me when I was 14. I took them out of a bird bath, and that's the grottiest place to take them out of. And the problem is birds carry a lot of worms. And I think I just infected a whole guppy tank with worms because I took them out of there. So if you can find a way to culture them, like by doing an infusoria culture, and then you can put the infusoria like culture, the old one, outside, and it'll get some mosquito larvae in it. You can feed that probably, but you got to be careful. Have you looked at getting a battery backup? Sorry, I don't know if you can hear that. My dog's just barking at my neighbor's dog. Sorry about that. Do you know Saqib Al Hassan, #1 all-rounder in the world from Bangladesh? I actually don't know that one. Is he playing in the Big Bash? He's probably not. So I wouldn't know him too well. But yeah, I don't know him. Anyway, sorry. So yeah, I'm going to be getting a battery backup, like a generator, now that I've had this experience. Sorry about my dog's barking. Because yeah, I don't want to have this happen again. So I'm going to be doing that, but it's going to be a generator, not a battery backup. I forgot I watched your mono breeding project. How are the yields? Any chance to use the babies as food? So actually, I've got a funny story about that video. I'm considering getting rid of it, but the reason I posted that was like, this is, I think, maybe 2 months after me having my channel start up, like properly, when I started actually making videos. I don't remember who it was, but someone just kept asking me to make a video about a mono shrimp. I've never kept a mono shrimp. So like, that's kind of why I kind of want to take it down, because I'm not an expert at doing anything. I never actually bred them. I looked up online how to breed them, and I just made the background music is the dogs. I just made a video on it just to make this person happy, because I had like 10 people watching my videos, and I think a lot of people watched that video, and like, it seems really complicated. I'm not too keen on doing it right now, but that video is probably one of my worst videos on the channel. So sorry about anyone that watched that. Because even in the video, I didn't even have a mono shrimp. I just recorded my cherry shrimp. It was like a terrible video. But yeah, it was because like had like 10 or 20 people that watched the channel. My videos were getting like 15, 20 views. This person just kept commenting, making a mono shrimp video. So I just did. Do you own any mollies or platties? No, not at the moment. I will be doing that if I ever get a, what's it called? Like a big warehouse, and I can put them in tubs and farm them that way, but not at the moment. Sorry for repeating my question, but can you suggest some stocking ideas for a 6-foot planted tank? So I would do, well, I don't know. It's completely up to you, but like a 6-foot, maybe like a big discus tank. If you've had the experience before, maybe discus could be good. Or one of the things I've always wanted to do is fill up a tank with just a ton of cories. So like either like a ton of sturbays, like 40 sturbays, just like watch them go around, or like something cool like that. That would be really cool. Something like that. I definitely watched it, and I lolled at the cherry shrimp the whole time. I loved it. Don't take it down. It shows growth. Yeah, I'll probably keep it up. But like, the annoying thing is that video got like quite a lot of views, like at least 20K. So it was like a bit of a clickbaity video, and I wasn't too happy that people didn't enjoy it, but whatever. It is funny. It does show growth. Anyways, I reckon we got like maybe another 5 minutes. And yeah, if you guys got any more questions, my voice is getting so tired. I've still got to edit this better video, because I'm going to be going away. When is it? On Tuesday. So I'm going to be gone, and I won't have time to edit a video for next Sunday. So I've got to get one up today. But yeah. Corey from the co-op his live bearer tubs look awesome. Yeah, they do. They're fantastic, those things. That's kind of what I meant. I want to get something like that. Are you going to do a marine tank? No, not anytime soon. Probably, I don't know. Maybe I will at some point. I kind of want to breed the clownfish. That'd be cool. Can I feed guppies egg yolk? You can, but the problem is if you feed them egg yolk, they like the egg yolk rots really easily, and so you can, if you overfeed the egg yolk, yeah, sorry. Yeah, but if you feed them egg yolk, it can rot in the bottom of the tank, and you need like to constantly clean. So the best thing to feed is infusoria or what's it called? Micro worms are really good, and brine shrimp. Any advice for crebensis? Just got my first pair. Not really. Just kind of like leave them in a tank and they breed. It's pretty cool. Yeah, they're really easy to take care of. I've got a lot of videos actually on them. I haven't kept crebensis for like 2 years now, so I don't really remember all the little nitty gritty things, but I had a lot of success and fun with them. Okay. See you, Nick. Waiting for your mustache merch to drop. Yeah, I don't know if that's going to be happening. All right, see ya. Will you be breeding pea puffers? Hopefully. Like I said it earlier on the stream. I reckon I'm just going to get them so that I can feed snails to them, and hopefully they're just going to breed by themselves. But I'll definitely put an effort into breeding them at some point. Can teenager angelfish pair off? So I don't really know. Do you have teenager angelfish? Maybe. They're probably a bit too old. The best age for angelfish to breed, I think, is like maybe 1.5 to 3 years, and then the pairs kind of get a little bit redundant. But yeah. Any hints or advice on breeding tiger barbs? I do not have any great advice because I've never bred them. The annoying thing about not having this book is that I know that there's a tiger barb section in here. That's great. So like, I don't have any more available, which is really annoying. But in this book, there was like, I was reading it, tiger barbs, raspberries. If I ever get this book back, it'll be awesome. But yeah, if you, I can't give you any advice. I just recommend the book normally. So yeah, I'll put a lot of effort in trying to find that book again, because we sold like, they said to me, like, I'm probably not going to answer any more questions. I'm just going to tell you this quick story, and then I'm going to head off because I need to make this video. But so I originally bought I got recommended the book by Peter. He said you have to jump through a bunch of loopholes and you have to get it through this wholesaler. So I set up my wholesale account and everything. And I was like going to buy just one book for myself. And I was like, you know what? Stuff it. I'll buy 4 and I'll just sell the other 3. And I'll put them up on my website and I'll just see if they sell. I didn't think they were going to sell at all because it was just like a book. And I got the book. It was really, really good. And I was like, as well, the reason I bought the other 3 is like, even if I can't sell them, I'll just give them away. Like, I'll go give one to the guy at the local fish store. I'll do this and that, whatever. And so I did one stream. And for some reason, I just ticked on the product, continue selling when out of stock. And I sold a silly amount of these books, like everyone wanted them. And so I called the wholesaler and they were like, how did you, I'm like, how many do you have? I need as many as you've got. And I only had 17. So I bought all of those and they were like, what are you doing? Like, how are you selling all these books? Because we've been sitting on these books since 2011. Like, we had boxes of these in our in our kitchen. Like, we couldn't sell these books. I was like, I don't know, my people on YouTube just going like crazy. Like, it is a good book, so that's why. And yeah, and they said there's no more available. But yeah, so they were sitting on these books for years and years and years, and they just never sold them until now. So we've sold all the books for them, but they don't have any more to give me. But it's annoying because I was saying we used to just put them in a box with people's orders. I was like, you're giving them away? It was the most annoying thing ever. But anyways, I reckon we'll probably wrap it up here. Thank you so much for watching this stream, guys. I really appreciate it. We've actually hit a record. I think we hit 99 people on the stream. We didn't hit 100, but I've never had this many people on the stream. It's actually crazy. I can't believe it. I'll probably do another one of these next 2 weeks' time because I'm going to be away next week. But yeah, thank you everyone who's watched the videos and bought the books and the fish and stuff like that. Honestly, I can't thank you enough. Thank you everyone as well who was commenting and asking questions. I really, really appreciate it as well. And yeah, I guess I'll see you guys whenever. See you later. Bye everyone. See ya.